Welcome to another Facebook tutorial. This time we're going to add a special background image to our Facebook page. So let's get started. I've got my Facebook open here. And the first step we need to take is to find out what elements on this page we actually want to change to have a background image instead of this background color in gray here. So step one is finding the element we want to use. We can do this by right-clicking and going to Inspect, or Control-Shift-I on Windows. But it's a little bit easier to do it if you go through Stylebot. So I guess the real first step is you need to have Stylebot installed on Chrome, or you can use Stylish on Firefox. The instructions are the same for either one. I'm going to click on Stylebot and click Open Stylebot. And then we can select an element. And this sometimes doesn't give you what you want. It's not the easiest, so you might have to use the inspector, the right-click inspect to find your element. But you can click around and see if this does it first. So we've got div._li. That's actually a class name. The dot always signifies a class. So why don't we go down here to the color and background section and click on background color and give it some sort of horrible, or not so horrible, purple there. I like blue. Let's do blue. How about that? There we go. So we just changed the background color of the page. Let's close this for a minute. So that gives you the background color. I don't know what's on my Facebook right now. But it gives you the background color on this side and on this side. So that way you have that there. The problem with that is if you go all the way up, if you look at the groups on the side here, you can tell that the background color is going to affect them too. And so when you put an image here, it's going to be, washing these out quite a bit if you have the wrong kind of image. So we're also going to have to take care of that. We're going to have to put something behind here so you can still read all of your stuff on the side of the page here. So we'll do that as well. We want to get a hold of what that is too. Open Stylebot again, and we'll go see what this whole side piece is called. Okay, so if you look up here in this little box, it's called hashtag left call. So that's the left column, and we can change something there too. We can always go to background color, and we can say that has to be white. So this is a really simple way to do that. And then you have the white there, and all the way down, the white will be behind those so you can still read them. So that's a step we want to do. The other thing we want to think about, let's close this again. The other thing we want to think about is, do we want this gray color to be here in the middle with all of our content, or do we want that to go away as well so we can put our background there too? So why don't we go back into Stylebot again and try to, okay, it looks like that one might be the thing. So this big, long, crazy, whatever that is our gray area. Let's see if it is. So it goes around the whole gray thing. So that's what we want to do. And we can, let's see, what do we want to change here? Let's make this, I think we can type right in here, transparent. There we go. Okay, so if you just put that value in here in the background color box, you can put transparent for that right column here. Then you'll have the blue behind everything. And that blue, all it's doing there is kind of a placeholder. It's setting the stage for the image we want to put on there next. So we have that done, and that's saved in Stylebot. So if we go reload the page, you will see new posts, of course. Okay, there's a funny one. But you'll see that the blue is all the way across here, except for the places, the content, and the sidebar that we don't want to see blue when we have our image there. So what we're going to do now is, now that we've figured out Facebook and the elements we want to change, let's go to one of my favorite stock photo sites, and that is StockPic. This is a great site, a lot of really cool photography, and the owner of the site, Ed, will let you use the photos for commercial use for free. So it's really great. You can find tons of really great stuff here. Let's see, we can find all kinds of photos here. I like to go to this one, the latest 100 right here. And then you can kind of catch like the coolest and newest. Some of those are on the other page too, but like this one, this is really cool. Look at this one. There you go. It looks like maybe, Las Vegas. Okay. So we'll download that photo because we're allowed to. If you see, he says, no attribution required, but requested, free for commercial use. Now, since this is just kind of a personal Facebook background project, we don't really have to worry about, like, we're not going to redistribute it. We're just going to use it for our own uses. So that's fine. We're going to let that download. Okay, so we've got the elements. That's number one. Elements that we need. We've got number two, which is the photo we want to use. And then next, what we need to do is we need to go visit a website called Imgur. And what Imgur is a photo hosting site, and they host all of the photos for Reddit. So if you've ever heard of Reddit, it's a news site. This is the site that actually hosts all of the images. There's a lot of like internet memes and crazy stuff on here, but besides that, you can host your own photos on here for free. So it's a really useful site. You can do that anywhere. You can do this on PhotoBucket or any of those other sites that you would normally host photos on. You can do it on Dropbox if you want to. So wherever you have your photos, you can just put this photo there, but Imgur is free if you don't have anywhere else. So it's kind of simple for our demonstration purposes here. The last step that we have to do is basically add the image to here, to Imgur, so it's on the internet. So what we want to do is click Upload Images, browse your computer, and I'm going to go right to my downloads, and I'm just going to click on that New Year's celebration one. And then you click over here and click, so you've got the photo down here. You can see what you're uploading. You can actually do this with multiple images at the same time. So if you need to upload a bunch, you can do that. Click Start Upload. And notice I didn't sign up for an account or anything. This is just Imgur. You can upload a photo and use it for your own stuff, and it just gives you a URL. And if you want to save those pages with all the photos on them on here, like your own account, you can do that, but you don't have to. So it's kind of nice. It's going to take forever to upload. You know what? Tell you what, let's do this really quick. So because this photo is absolutely huge, let's open up a website called pixlr.com. I can spell. Here it is, pixlr.com. And we'll click Launch Web App on Pixlr. And okay, so what we'll do here is we'll say Open Image from Computer, and we'll double click. I'm only using a web editor because not everyone has Photoshop on their computer, so I just want to show you an easy way you can handle this without having to have anything installed. So we've got it in here. What we can do now is go to Image, and we can go Image Size. And we can just change this from 4,000 pixels. That's really huge, which is awesome that you get such great photography from that site. But we don't want it that big for our purposes. I'd probably say a max of maybe 1,600 is good. And then it'll be more than wide enough for your screen. You can kind of put in your own screen resolution here if you want to. So we'll just click that. Now, look, this is 15%. That's why it's so small. If we change this to 100, it's still huge, right? So we'll go to File, and we can go to Save My Computer, and then we'll put it at 80% compression on JPEG. That's pretty good. And we'll save it. And yes, we want to overwrite the other one because we don't want the huge one. So we've got our photo. We just basically made it a lot smaller so it doesn't take up a lot of upload time. And then we're going to go to Imgur, and we're going to browse, and we're going to upload the new one, which is a lot smaller, and this should go a lot faster. Here we go. Yes, way faster because it's a smaller file. And it'll fit our Facebook page a little bit better. Okay, so once this is uploaded and it's all done, this hopefully will go away, I think. Hey! Okay, now what you want here is, I believe, the direct link. So if you right click and click copy, and you click on a new tab, and if you paste this into the address bar, you will actually get the image in all its glory. That's what we want because we want Facebook to use that image as the one we're using. So that's cool. Now we have a URL here that we got from Imgur. Again, if you didn't see that, it was the direct link. You can click right there to copy it because I'm a dummy and didn't know that and right clicked. Either way, it works the same. Copy. And then we're going to go back to Facebook, and we have to be on Facebook for this to work. And then we're going to go to Stylebot and open Stylebot. And then inside of there, we already have some styles saved because we did all that stuff before. So let's scroll down until we see the Edit CSS button at the bottom. And here we go. So we have our background color, that's our blue, I would imagine right there. But we want to change this background color. If we take this out, you'll see the live changes update. There we go. But so that is the one we want. And what we're going to write here is a little bit of code. Don't be afraid. It's just code. It's okay. background background dash image. Okay. And then we want to put a colon, a double dot right there, and then URL, and then inside parentheses like this, we want to put in single quotes like that. And then we're going to get our image URL from this tab over here. I'm going to right click, copy, and then I'm going to right click, paste. If it will let me, where'd it go? It's not going to let me. All right, so on the keyboard, we can do Control V on Windows or Command V on a Mac to put that in there. Now you'll see that this image actually did add itself to the page, but look at it now. It scrolls over and over and over again, which is sort of ugly. So what we want to do is, because that's ugly, we can add a little property here. And what we want to do is put a semicolon there because we're going to make a new line. And so we make a second line and we'll say background, I believe it's attachment. I'm trying to type around my mic here. Background attachment, let's say fixed. Okay, now you saw something change there. And now what it does is it scrolls the content, but it doesn't scroll the background. So you can see the background stays the same, even though we're scrolling up and down. So that is really, really, really cool. And it looks amazing. So that is all we need to do. We'll click the save button and we will close Stylebot and look at what we've got. You have the background that you wanted staying there, and then you can't see any of this stuff here unless you highlight it, but you probably don't care about most of that anyway. You could find whatever that box is if you want to, this box, and you could also change that background color. Whoops. Change that background color to be white as well. And then you also have that, but it's up to you, kind of what you want to do. So that is how you put a background into Facebook. Hopefully this tutorial was helpful. That's about it for now. See you next time.